Hi, good people of the good Lord. How are you doing today? My name is Ivy Ramatloko, aka Mrs. Ramsey. I hope you are doing superb. Thank you so much for all the returning subbies. I really appreciate it. And welcome to all the new subscribers, guys. I am so humbled that you saw it fit to hit the subscribe button. If you are new here and you have not hit the red button, please do so. It is entirely free. I love you so much, guys. I really appreciate your support. Please do like if you like the video, and also hit the notification bell so that when I post any new videos, you will be the first one to be notified and like the video or comment down below. Today we will be talking about having stepchildren in marriage. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience, my story. So when I met my husband, my then boyfriend, it was in 2007. We officially started dating in 2008, and he casually mentioned that he had a son. And believe you me, I really did not, it really didn't register in my mind that, okay, at this age that I am, I will be a step parent. It didn't really register because I just felt so good when I was with him. I just felt like we belong together, right? So years went by and the child was 3.5 going to 4 years. That is when he actually introduced me to him. And believe you me, he did not prepare me. I don't know if he prepared the child because he was young, but we gelled right there and there. We made a connection. Like, he just started calling me mama, and I felt like, oh, okay, all right, I'm belonging here. And I was like, does he really, the father, does he really trust me that much that he introduces me to his son? Because I believe that children are very vulnerable. You can't just introduce them to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You really need to be sure about that person that you introduce your child to, so that you can control the level of privacy to your child. And also, children don't understand. So if you keep introducing this and that, they end up being confused, and they grow up with this resentment that means nobody wanted me, that, and of which that is not really what a child should go through. You need to protect your child as much as possible. We do not choose. Sometimes you have children at a younger age, or maybe you have children and you don't have any intention with the parent. So it is not a mistake, and it is not an embarrassing factor, but you really need to protect your child. You really need to consider your child in every step thereof that you're going to take in your life. So yes, here was my stepson in my relationship, and guys, I really fell in love, so much so that I started being a mother. Like, I felt like, wow, I'm a parent. I didn't even know what a parent is at that time. I was just starting to enjoy life. But it felt so good because why? My then boyfriend, husband now, like, he was present. He really went through it with me. He didn't just tell me about the child and abandon me on that issue. Like, he included me in every aspect of this child life. Whatever he was doing with the mother, he would include me. And I felt like I gelled in. I was piece of the puzzle that fitted the whole puzzle between him and his son. And when I went shopping, I would shop for children clothes. When I bring them to him, he would be so happy. Then when I started knowing him, he was living with his mother. And then as time went by, he came and stayed with my husband. So whenever I would come visit during the weekend, he would be here. And it would be a very, like, guys, it was so nice, but how do you handle it if now you do not gel with it? I feel that one thing I was very cautious with is that I understood that I am not the parent, I am not the mother. So I do not want to take the place of his mother. No, I I was the stepmother, and I was to play a role in supporting and helping my husband to grow or nurture this child. I was not there to start a new culture with this child. Already he knew how to behave with his mother, how to ask for things. I was not here to change that, but I understood that I am here to support and help my husband. And also another thing that I respected was a boundary between my husband and his mother, in a sense that whatever they discuss, my husband is the one to discuss it with me. I need not to call his mother, I need not to have a conversation with his mother. However, there is, because of the situation between my husband and the mother, my late grandmother-in-law gave a suggestion that how about the mother communicates with your wife. Now you are husband and wife, and she suggested that how about she be the one communicating with the mother. And guys, I want to tell you, till to this day we still communicate, although it's not friendly or buddy kind of communication. It is solely on the child. Whatever the child needs, whatever the child is asking for, whatever is in the benefit of the child, I am able to talk to his mother, with me first discussing with my husband. So whatever I'm gonna tell the mother, it's not something that my husband doesn't know. Even if tomorrow the mother calls my husband and say, your wife said this and this, already my husband knew about it. So I have to tread very carefully, because I do not want to create something that I was supposed to be a helper and make it easier for the aspect of the child. So it was very much like needing to, I had to watch my steps. And it was not tough, guys. I don't want to lie, it was not hard, because I believe that a child needs to be loved. Guys, ngwana has a problem. Like, ngwana can never be a problem, and we can never make our problems the child problems. Ngwana tlamehile a hlokomelwe, and that's it. And anything else will be dealt with outside of the child. So my concern was the well-being of the parent. Throughout the years, like as he was growing up, he still called me mama, and I respected him for that. I respected my son for that, because he knew who I was. Yes, I was not his biological mother, but he understood that this is a woman that my father is staying with, as much as my mother is staying with my stepfather. And I like, he sometimes brags about it to say, I have 2 dads and 2 moms. Like, he's a very outgoing child. And another thing is that I would be the one encouraging my husband that, can we have him over, especially when I had my son. I really felt that it was very necessary for them to know each other. My son growing knowing that he has a brother, and also my stepson knowing that there is a brother. And that happened. He would come during holidays, and they would, even to this day, my child will always say, mama, I miss my brother. Mama, when are we going to see Abuti? And I love that for them. I loved that because it brought joy into my marriage. I loved that because it built my marriage stronger. And I am very thankful for this the mother my son has, because she is one kind lady. She never gave me any bad vibes. But if you meet a baby mama who is just unbearable, I would advise that you stick with your husband. Communicate with your husband everything. Understand the perspective of your husband, where your husband is coming from. Do not take sides. Yes, you are a woman, maybe you root for women, but you came into this marriage to be a helper and a supporter, to be submissive to your husband. So you need to ask God, or rather the Holy Spirit, to how do I make my husband better in this situation, since we have this baby mama drama situation. How do we handle it? How do I help my husband to be a better father, even though he is not allowed to see the child? You need to be the calm, the one who brings peace. You can't be the fire in the fire. So you, especially if you have a child, if you have children, you need to be the calm one into this situation. If you are somebody whom her husband tends to love the child more than the ones in the house, you need to sit down, you need to discuss it, you need to communicate the expectations that you have as now a stepmother to this child. You need to lay them down to your husband that as a stepmother, this is what I'm expecting. What are your expectations? How do we bring them together? How do we deal with the baby mama? How do we deal with the child, the visitations, the buying of clothes, the paying of school fees, the contributions your husband will be making in this child's life? Like, you need to be involved. Involve yourself. Don't just sit back and say, I will wait for him and he will come and no, be involved, be interested, ask questions. Only when you get a negative reception, you then bring your parents-in-law into the situation. You request a meeting, or maybe you call your mother-in-law to advise on how to go about it, since your husband is blocking you. And again, maybe there is a reason, especially if the baby mama is not dramatic. She just wants to take care of her child and leave it like that. Maybe that's why the husband would maybe turn off this idea of you talking about the stepchild. Maybe the mother doesn't want him involved, and he also doesn't know why it's like that. So that's why I'm saying communication with your husband is of importance. It's very crucial, because you are there because of your husband. It says that make sure that your husband is as much comfortable about the situation as possible. Whether he wants to talk about it, whether he doesn't want to talk about it, whether the baby mama is like doesn't want the father near the child, whether not, you need to be the support system for your husband. You need to be the one who keeps him calm. You need to be the one who brings him to the Lord. It's very unfortunate, but we as wives, we hold so much, we hold so many heads, and if we are not rooted in Christ, believe you me, it is hard. It is hard to do it alone. It is so hard and frustrating. You end up fighting in your marriage, which if you gave it to God and ask God to lead you and ask God to show you the way, give you wisdom on how to deal with this situation. Because firstly, I was a stepmother before I could even be a mother, so I didn't know how does it feel to mother a child. I like, seriously, if it was not for the woman in my life, if it was not for prayer, I wouldn't have made it. But, and also, if it was not for the love that I had for my husband, guys, I still tell him that you tricked me. Like, I feel like you tricked me, babe, because how could I not question anything? But I understood. I understood. I will be doing a video about how I knew he was the one. But that is one of the aspects. The way I loved him, it was just unexplainable. And I loved him so much so that whatever we went through together, I would always want to be his support system. I would always want to make him feel important. It is not easy being a stepmother. It is not easy. A lot is expected from you by the family, by the baby mama, by your husband. But if you are grounded, if you know who you are, and if you could find it in your heart to love this child. Till to this day, I do not know my stepson's disrespect. I do not know him talking back to me. That's how much I gave myself to God. I told God that I don't know what I'm doing, but one thing I'm asking from you is that make this child so comfortable with me that he does not see anything wrong with the situation that he is in, because I can't control it. His father can't control it, his mother can't control it, his stepdad can't control it. So you need to be the figure, as you created us. You need to be the one who gives us this wisdom on how to nurture this child so that he becomes a better person tomorrow. It is about the child. Yes, there are horror stories that I hear about baby mamas, baby daddies, like stepchildren. It is a lot, but in my instant, God gave me the wisdom, and I allowed him to use me to be a mother to this child. Because when my husband explained to me how things happened, and that, I told myself that I do not want to be part of that problem. I don't want to be part of that situation. You introduced me to this child. I'm going to love this child, and I'm going to learn about him for myself. I want to know him for myself. I don't want to take what you're saying or what the mother is saying or the family members are saying. I am going to bring him close to me and learn him for myself. So just be humble, just be peaceful in any situation, baby drama or not, baby mama drama or not. Humble yourself in this situation, because there is really no manual for it. You are human as well. Your feelings should be taken into consideration, but you need to understand that with the child involved, they need to be so much love, so much compassion, so much understanding. Like, even with your own children, you would shout, you would reprimand, and. But reprimand from a point of love. Reprimand from a point of, I love you, I care for you, I understand you. Don't reprimand because hawanaka. No. The minute you have that, everything is going to go wrong. And believe you me, the child will feel the energy. You need to be the glue between the child and the father. You need to be the peacemaker. You need to be the ground, the foundation of nurture, caring, patience for that child in your family, so that when they come and visit, they feel at home. They do not despise being with you for that duration. I love you so much, and I hope that this video will teach you something, or will teach somebody or touch somebody who is in this same boat as me. I love my stepson, guys. I do not want to lie about it, and I enjoy being his stepmother because he allowed me to. He never made it hard for me, and As much as I love my own children, I love him as well. Thank you so much. May God bless you in every journey that you take. May you bring him close to any endeavor that you experience.